Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about a book that I specifically kept to read whenever I go to do my nails. And yes, I've changed my nails in the past week. It was pink cat eye before, but I changed it into burgundy because, well, it's Christmas. And the reason I didn't show any footage of me doing nails, it was because I got a cold and I completely forgot to bring my tripod. But that didn't matter because today we're talking about a book that I kept reading whenever I go to do nails. That I personally think it's one of the best choices to read when doing nails because for girls, doing nails is like a ritual, right? We regularly go to a place and we go there, we get ourselves more prettier. No, I will not say prettier, like we do something to satisfy us, that would make us feel good, both physically and mentally. And usually we talk to people or we go with friends. It's a very girly environment. And sometimes I like to talk to people or go with my friends, but sometimes I feel like I want some alone, me quality time, so I'll bring my Kindle because I can just tap without turning pages. And I would love a good book that fits the vibe of girly, confident, feminine environment. And I do love a good smart book, but I'm not completely comfortable reading smart when there were other people around present in the room. So I was always wanted to choose something that's entertaining, but it's also a little bit scandalous or thrilling to read. And yes, finally I find my pick. So this book is juicy, it's scandalous, it's incredibly well written and plotted. It gave me a feeling of reading something that fans of Gossip Girl or Bridgerton would love. The environment of feminine, powerful, slutty, yeah, you could say slutty and flirty, and also it has some deep things if you wanted to explore the theme.
Already? How does a lady come to be with child?
It has secrets, cheating, evil business, love, and especially unrequired secrecy love among aristocracy. You name it. It for me it feels like the perfect theme you read that you wanted to gossip about with your friends or by yourself when you're doing nails. The book is called Dangerous Liaisons by French author Pierre Chardelot de Laclos. It was published in 1782, so you have no trouble finding a Kindle version or an iPad version, or just read it on your phone. It's completely fine. Also, the story was adapted into several movies, both in English and I think there's one in Korean as well. So if you don't want to read the whole book, but you still feel like some scandals could do for today, you could watch the movies. So the story is about seduction. I mean, can you find a better theme to read when you were doing nails? The main character, the Marquis de Merteuil, asked her former lover, a notorious playboy, Viscount de Vermont, to seduce an enemy of hers, a young, beautiful girl called Cecil, because Cecil is going to marry to another of the Marquis's former lover, who discarded her in a very rude way. So the Marquis, the older, more prestiged main character, wanted her revenge. But in the meantime, the notorious playboy, the Viscount, had his eyes on another married woman, a very beautiful, married, shy, morally good woman called Madame de Tourvel. And later in the story, Cecil fell in love with her music tutor. And she became a friend, as she thought herself, with the Marquis herself. The Marquis and Vermont pretended to help Cecil in order to manipulate her just for their own fun, and they made a bet about it. If Vermont can successfully achieve what the Marquis wanted, the Marquis would spend a night with Vermont doing And, as you can imagine, in every love story, of course, what is going to happen? Vermont actually fall in love with the good, married, shy woman, Madame de Tourvel, which made the Marcus absolutely jealous because, according to her, everything should be the game. No true feelings should be poured into this thing. And she tricked Vermont into breaking up with Madame de Tourvel. And Vermont, who later was declared war with the Marcus because she said that you broke our rule. It was a game between us, but it was not anymore, and you would be punished for that. He ended up having a duel with another guy. And his secret trades with the Marcus, all the letters were exposed. And the Marcus carried on living with, I think personally, was the worst case scenario for her that could have happened to her. It was worse than death. And I'm not gonna spoiler all the ending, but you can tell no one win in the situation. No honors were left at the end. Now, what I absolutely love about this book, first of all, as an epistolary novel, the whole story is composed by a series of letters between different characters. And the majority of the content was letters exchanged between the Marcus and the Vermont. And they were fantastically written. It was beautiful, it was poetic, it was flirty. And yes, you can say it was very straightforward evil because it talks about how to use psychological tricks to attract the opposite sex, how to play hard to get, how to manipulate women and men's fragile feelings. It's basically the same as all the videos about relationships you watched on TikTok or Instagram. And as they plot the revenge and persuading each other how right it was what they were doing, to unveil the truth about someone's own character, or to ease the pain of love, or just make the teenage girl's life easier because we are showing her the truth. The letters, because of how intimate and evil plotting they were, it emphasized the secrecy of this whole thing, the whole game, the whole situation, as if the readings were peaking. We were reading something that we shouldn't be. And I think it made the book extra spicy, although there was no sex involved. Yeah, there was no sex involved, but you get the thrill of cheating and witnessing a cheating and scandal waiting to happen. And I can understand why the book was banned when it first came out. It was tagged as a scandal when it was first published. And some would say it's a story about moral, or the author was trying to show his own opinion about aristocracy people before the French Revolution. But it gave you a strong feeling of exciting and involved in plotting a scandal, unlike any other books that we have written about. Well, I mean, aristocracy women and their scandalous life was a huge part of literature itself, right? We've read so many books about them, but none was as playful, evil, flirty. You can even say slutty. Well, I think all of them were slutty, as this one. And it just fit the whole narrative, and the writing letters. Everybody was so fake. Everybody was so snobbish, but they know them, you know them, and it doesn't hurt the plot. You were just enjoying reading something so bad. Bad as in, like, the characters were bad people, not bad how badly written, because it was fantastically written. But I think what made the book stand out was the anatomy of human beings and love. And even without the aristocracy layer, the scandalous layer, the story was fundamentally about love and how people think they can change others' destiny. They can manipulate others' true feelings. It was very interesting if you make a comparison between the book and anything Nietzsche said when it comes to someone owning his own fate. I mean, to put it in a simple way, the story is about karma, right? If you want a one-word summarization, it was about karma. But it also provides a kind of discussion of how people view their own willpower when in terms of choosing who to love or how to love. I mean, do we really have a choice when it comes to that? Are you about to fall in love with the meant to be, or was your fate also manipulated or changed by others when you didn't know? I don't know, but the story got me thinking. There was a paragraph from the Marcus who you think she's a bit like Blair Waldorf, just born so many years earlier. She was beautiful, she was wealthy, she was trapped in her own scheming and intelligence. She's evil, she wants to prove that she's better than all of us. And she was a master of having affairs with men that are not her husband. But how did she become such a person? Because when the story happened, she was relatively older. And in one of the letters, the Marcus wrote about how she became who she was today. She wrote, "I was very young still and almost without interest. My thoughts were all that I had, and I was indignant that these should be stolen from me or suppressed against my will. Armed with these first weapons, I tried to use them, not satisfied with not letting my real self be manifest. I amused myself by showing myself under different forms. Sure of my gestures, I kept a watch upon my speech. I regulated both according to circumstances, or even merely according to my whim. From that moment, the color of my thought was my secret, and I never revealed more of it than it was useful for me to show." You can see, as a woman as prestigious as she was still caged in the old society. And she wanted to break free. You can tell that having affairs with these men, these playboys, and manipulate them and plotting against them were a part of her way of showing the world that I'm not the woman who you think I am. I'm not just someone's wife with a title. And she showed extremely strong willpower when it comes to the game of love, the power play between men and women. She knows. Sometimes I wonder if she plays chess, because if she does, she'll be a great player. And she wanted to show that she can be just as good, if not better, than the man that she ever had. And in another letter, she wrote, "I must conquer or perish. As for Prevon, I wish to have him, and I shall have him. He wishes to tell all of it, and he shall not tell all of it. That, in 2 words, is our little romance." She sees everything in a very clear, black and white world. She would never caged or let herself be destroyed by a man because she has done loving someone else. For her, her power comes from telling the world that I'm not going to be just any woman that you think I am. And she provided the observation about love that it sometimes scares me. She explained to Ramon in a letter that read, "This method may succeed with children who, when they write 'I love you,' do not know that they say, 'I yield myself.'" I was completely stunned by the accuracy of this paragraph. I mean, to love is to give in and to let others have the power over you, to control you, that you are handing them yourself. your body, your mind, your soul, your true self. And you were going to lose power because you fall in love. Well, a fictional woman explained it better than I did.
Well, I had no choice, did I? I'm a woman. Women are obliged to be far more skillful than men. You can ruin our reputation and our life with a few well-chosen words. So, of course, I had to invent not only myself, but ways of escape no one has ever thought of before. And I've succeeded because I've always known I was born to dominate your sex and avenge my own.
I think part of the reason I love this book is that what I have always believed in. That, as Amy Winehouse put it, love is a losing game. It's just too bad that no one would have seen it through. As smart as the Marcus was, or as the Vermont was, no one can escape fate. Even the great manipulators. It was kind of sad that, of course, they got what they deserved, but you still feel the powerless feeling of falling in love. And that's all for today. I'm thinking about getting new nails sometime next week, but I have to decide what to read first. And thank you for watching my video. This has been really fun, and I have to say this book kind of made me a little bit sad. Not in a like a great love story ended badly way sad, but I don't know, maybe none of us can truly conquer love because it conquers us. And whoever you are, if you're a modern girl that living into 2024, or Marcus that lived before the French Revolution, or a very young and stupid girl waiting to be married to someone else, who didn't know that someone's manipulating you. Maybe fate happened to all of us, and maybe we were just acting smart, that we were just thinking that we are so smart that we can outsmart fate or love, which both turn out untrue. I don't know. It's a great book. I recommend everybody doing it, and I hope if you're getting nails, I hope you like your new nails like I do. And see you next time. Also, next time we're either doing my best books of 2024, or books I read about after a breakup, or let me tell you about the book that I wrote this year. I haven't decided which one yet. We'll see. And yeah, see you later.